think so, and it's exciting. We're starting this new season. The Premier League got off to a start last weekend. This is the start of La Liga, and it's nice because they're staggered. And to stagger it one step further, we can do a little special sneak preview of Serie A that does not start this weekend. It starts next weekend.
Yeah.
The 24th, I believe, is their first set of games. And I want to do a special feature with you and I, Patsy, on this. I would like us to pick one team from Serie A to feature every week, and maybe we can include, really breaking down a La Liga side too as we go through the season, and see if there's somebody that kind of grabs the interest of the community, the sporting community. But right now, the one team that's going into the Serie A season that was a nice surprise last year, and I look for them to really take advantage of what they did last year and build on it, is Atalanta. And I just want to talk a little bit about what they did do last year, and then get your reaction to it. Last year, Atalanta, I think, really kind of came out of nowhere. They didn't have an amazing transfer window, but they did get Duvan Zapata, on loan. Yeah. He's 28, so he's right in his prime, and he had a 14-goal campaign last year, which tied him with Ronaldo for the scoring lead in Serie A. You pair him up with Alejandro Gomez, who has always been pretty special, a midfielder from Argentina that just plays lights out in Serie A. He really thrives in the Serie A. And Josip Ilicic is also a strong, kind of a central attacking midfielder, big guy, and not real fast, but he plays really well. And they have a few Dutch players that are kind of role-playing midfielders who play really well. But the thing that really caught my attention, was their results. They were able to tie Juventus, who is the perennial, place-holding champion in Serie A, I think for 7 straight seasons. They tied them in both season matches, both home and away. One was a 2-2 tie, the other one was a 1-1 tie, and then they played in the quarterfinals of the Coppa Italiana, and they beat them 3-1 in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
So they consistently handled Juve. Not only that, the second place team that was ahead of Atalanta is Napoli. And they split the season series with Napoli. They lost one and won one. And they ultimately tied in points with Inter Milan, was a very good side. Didn't quite get over the hump last year. And what's your side? Didn't quite get over the hump last year, but they at least managed to finish 4th. And they lost head-to-head to Atalanta in terms of points. So Atalanta did claim the 3rd spot, which puts them they're qualified for the UEFA Champions League. And what they did last year was they capitalized on their coach's tactical play, Gasparoni. He set them up to play a very interesting style where the wingers come out and put a lot of pressure and move the ball side to side. They change their angle of attack, and then they've got Zapata, who's 6'2", heading the ball in, kicking the ball in from all different angles. And then you've got Alejandro Gomez, who's 5'5" and is kind of like the poor man's Messi, right? He's running around out there controlling the ball. So they're a special side, and I'm excited. I don't think they're going to take a step back this year. Their biggest question mark to me was their defense, and they added Martin Skrtel, who's a very classy defender. So what do you think? You know some things about Serie A. Do you see any possible setbacks for them this year?
Well, Skrtel was a big pickup for them defensively. It really was, because they were a little shaky and defensively to begin with, right? And so Skrtel was a great pickup for them. Gasparoni really knows his side, and he really knows it well. They're always a side for whatever reason, and I don't understand why. But they always seem to fly under the radar, right? It's like everybody's surprised when Atalanta's like, well, they're up there, they're competing for Champions League. I'm like, yeah, they're that good. They really are. Gomez coming back was nice. Like you said, you have what was his name? Zapata on loan from Sampdoria. Look, I'll be honest. I think they're going to end up ahead of my beloved Inter. I love Inter Milan. You know that. But yeah, I could see them. honestly, I could see them coming in second. I really could. They have a legitimate shot. I don't think anybody's gonna overcome Juve, right? Juventus. I don't think anybody's gonna overcome them. They just have too much money. Let's be honest, Frank. There's just too much money there. But Atalanta's a damn good side. They got a damn good coach. They have they got quality players. Their players, Gasparini's players, buy into the system. Coming in a second place finish, I don't think is out of the question. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but man, don't be surprised if it does. There's a quality side there.
I'm very excited by their offense and their style of play, and I think it will continue to really give people fits in Serie A. My biggest interest is, of course, I love Napoli. You know that. So I do think that Napoli is scoring challenged, and I think that
they are.
When you saw Atalanta split with them last year, that was a big red flashing warning signal to me that I think they can beat them and take over second place this year. I think that you're right that they will have a possible inside track to second place. But even more than that, I'm interested to see how this side, now from Serie A, goes out into the European League, into the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah.
Will they be able to use this offensive style and not get exposed on the backside? Because Skirtle was a big pickup, but is it enough to protect their flank?
Yeah, that's a great question. Is it enough? I'll be honest, I don't know, but let's assume it is. All right, let's assume it's enough. And we're making some assumptions here, but it is just us, and we're just talking. They show that they can beat Juve. They showed that they could, head to head. I'm not talking an accumulation of points, but just head to head. They showed they can put up that they can keep up with them. I guess my biggest question is this a side that has enough to accumulate enough points to push Juve and to make them work for a Serie A title, so they're not winning it, by Christmas or by New Year's, or where this is a side, because I really think this is a second place. I really do. They're that good, and they showed it. They're a better side than my Inter side. They are, as much as I love Inter. There's more problems there than I don't even want to talk about right now. But Atalanta's, I can see them coming in second. I can see them pushing Juve. The problem, I guess my question is, and I'll ask you, do you think that they have enough to push Juve so all of a sudden Juve has to fight for the Scudetto?
Being rooting with my heart, I would say I want that to happen, but rooting with my head and talking back, answering your question, I'm going to say no, because you made a very important point earlier when you said an accumulation of points, and the class and the quality of player from top to bottom at just about every position at Juve is better than every other team, every other team in Serie A. And so what happens is when you play those tough dog day games that people get bored with, you play a long season, 20-something teams playing each other twice, and then you play these extra cups, and you play the UEFA, and you play the Europa, all that starts to wear on people. But Juve's such class, and they're professionals, that they will go through that slog, and they will accumulate the points. They will accumulate the points when they need to, and they won't have that letdown that I think Atalanta will suffer, because they are good, but when they go through a period of time where they stumble here and there, it'll just create enough daylight that Juve will just keep pushing that daylight further and further, so that I don't think Atalanta really does challenge them for first.
Well, let me ask you a question, and it's just coming off the top of my head, and I'll be honest, it's a lot of based on what you said. Do you think that's because Juve's just so deep that, or because, let's face it, they're deep. They got guys on their bench that will be starting on 20 other sides, just in Serie A. Do you think that's why Juve eventually overtakes them? It's just because, or I shouldn't say overtake them. That's not a fair.
but keeps their distance from them. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's just because they're so deep?
I think depth is a big reason why they will keep it. Keep the title. I do. I think the quality of player at every position, and then the second player at every position, just about is it's depth and it's quality. Both of those things will keep them out in front.
I agree.
And this season, let's face it. Look, as much as I don't think that Ronaldo is the number one player in the world, especially at this point in his career, nor do I ever think he was, because he played during Messi's heyday.
Right.
But let's face it, this is his second full season in Serie A. He's gotten his chance to go through this league. He's gotten his chance to see how they defend. He's gotten his chance to see how he can play with his Juve teammates. I think he's going to have a pretty big season.
Yeah, I agree with you. And simply for the reason you stated. Simply because this is his second time through everybody, right? So he knows what to expect. And you can say what you want to about Ronaldo. He can do this, he can do that. He can't do this, he can't do that. The guy's smart, and he knows how to play the game. And now this is his second season through. If he's going to excel at Serie A, this is his season to do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree. However, that doesn't mean that Juve's going to win. That just means Ronaldo's going to have a great season.
Yeah, I think the smart money is on Juve, but there is a chance. There is a chance with sides that got stronger this year, including Atalanta, including Inter. Although they have problems, they still got stronger. We'll see how they work out their problems. That's a topic for a different show. But we'll talk about them in the future. But I think that. And also you're going to have a dark horse team. You're always going to have a dark horse team that's going to come up and surprise people. Sampdoria still has scoring ability. They can knock people off. Believe it or not, Genoa gave last year.
Roma?
So Lazio, there's teams that can really knock people off. And we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But in any event, Master Patsy, we have done a really quick whirlwind in a half hour, which I think was amazing. And I'd love to keep this format going. People that watch this replay on YouTube, I want you to comment and give us any feedback that you have. And please, if you want us to cover a team in any of the major soccer leagues and break them down like we did with Atalanta tonight, we'd be glad to do that. We'd like to focus our attention on Serie A and La Liga because there's so much attention paid by other media outlets on the Premier League. But, if you have a special Premier League request that's not the darlings, that you see every Saturday morning on NBC and that you don't get a lot of coverage for them, send them in by comment. We'll take a look and we'll break them down for you. And anybody else that wants to pose a question, we'd be glad to address it.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Frank. I mean, those are our two favorite leagues in the world, right? I mean, you love Serie A. I've known you for a long. You love Serie A, and I love La Liga. I mean, that's going to be the things that appeal to us the most. It's not to say that we don't like Premier League or Bundesliga, right? Because we do. That's just not where our hearts are.
Right.
It doesn't. We don't appreciate it. We don't like it. Fuck, I like MLS a whole lot. Right. It's just not my wheelhouse. But anybody who wants to talk about anything, soccer related, just put a comment in there, send us a message, do whatever. Get a hold of us. We're easy to get a hold of. We're simple. You can it's not hard to get in contact with us, and we will cover any side you want. We'll talk about any issue you want. It is the beautiful game, and Pele called it the beautiful game for a reason, right? Because it is, and it's a universal game, and it's to me it's the best game in the world.
It's the best game, absolutely. I've fallen in love with it, fallen in love hard with it, and I can't see myself ever turning away from it because it's just from every level, from little kids on up to even people who are retired from playing, they still contribute to the game, and it's a wonderful, beautiful game. So anything you'd like to give in parting to the people who are end up watching this?
I guess the only thing I could say to everybody watching and listening is, look, soccer is something that, and if you're a fan, you're going to be a fan and you're going to be supportive for your entire life, right? It doesn't go away. Enjoy it, relish it, And the best part about soccer is the engagement that you have with other people whenever you're discussing it and you're talking about it, and you're being, to be generic, you're being social with it. So please talk to us, be a part of this whole thing. Let's create a community where it's just, we can talk about this and we can discuss this and we can go back and forth and we can have a season that's unbelievable if all of us just get involved and just tell each other how we feel and where our hearts are, where how we feel about games. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, it'd be a fantastic sporting community and a soccer community, calcio football community. It's to me it's so much fun meeting new people in different places. I go to Baltimore a lot, and there is a bar in Baltimore in the Canton area. You go there early in the morning on Saturdays or Sundays, and the whole place is red, and it's all Liverpool fans. They get up at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning, and they go and they start partying and they sing the songs and they watch the game. And I think the same thing can happen with you pick up your favorite team, whether it's Barcelona, Real, whoever it is, Athletic, and you go with your friends and you catch the games on Saturday or Sunday. I'd love to see that. I'd really like to see that germinate in our area, and I'd like to see it germinate around other leagues besides the EPL. It's hard to get the other leagues on TV, but if there's enough demand, it'll happen. So I just like to see people just learn about it, enjoy it, like you said, and engage with us. We're welcoming of that, and just ask you to give us a follow, keep us on your notifications, ring that bell so that whenever we post something new, it's coming. And we'll give you prompts on Twitter. Follow us at Butchered Sports on Twitter. Master Patsy's a contributor there, as well as myself and a few other people. You can check out some of our older videos on other topics, but we're going to be concentrating for the next 20 to 40 weeks on soccer on this channel. So, come back and join us next week for a full-fledged review of what happens in this week's La Liga and for a preview of next week's Serie A first week.
Absolutely, yes. And everybody, please get involved. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. Let us know how you feel and what you think. And trust me when I tell you, we're going to have a great season.
Absolutely. Happy viewing this weekend, Master Patsy.
You too, sir. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy the soccer this season here this weekend, because I know I'm going to.
Can't wait. Take care, everybody.